I appreciate everyone for attending the webinar on how to optimize operations and eliminate errors in the seafood selling and distribution. So, this is our agenda for today. I first want to give a quick introduction to Whitefish and, of course, our topic of today, the trading module. Then we'll delve deep into one of our newest features in the Whitefish trading module and take a look into the system. We'll also briefly be discussing the existing possibilities of the Whitefish trading module, as well as discussing how you can maximize your financial management in the seafood industry with Whitefish Insights. And finally, we'll be discussing how logistics is incorporated with the trading module and what potentials the logistic module has to offer. So get ready to immerse yourself in the world of seafood selling and distribution. All right. So Whitefish is a standardized solution catering to the unique needs of seafood companies throughout the entire supply chain, offering full traceability. The Whitefish solution is built within Microsoft renowned ERP platform Dynamics 365 Business Central. This partnership ensures that Whitefish is not just cutting edge, but also globally adept at handling complexities of seafood operations. We have over 25 years of hands-on experience, and we've got a tight-knit crew of 40-plus experts who are passionate about helping seafood businesses shine. Whether you're a small-scale fisherman or a large-scale distributor, Whitefish seamlessly manages all aspects of your supply chain, providing efficiency and ease of operations. We serve over 90 customers around the world and have several strategic partners in different countries helping us. So our main topic of today will be the Whitefish trading module, which is the heart of Whitefish. The trading module allows our users to manage multiple receipts of items and register pallets through receipt agreements. Users can import fish market invoices and register them into the system, as well as use analytical tools to offer their customers the best possible price and analyze expected actual and variance costs. Users can manage deliveries of items and sales agreements, reserve purchased items to those deliveries from inventory, or create purchase agreements through the sales agreements without having any inventory. By connecting purchases to sales, the trading module, like all of Whitefish, provides full traceability from source to plate. So today, I want to discuss with you the most recent developments in Whitefish, and that's the Whitefish trading role. So this role was specifically developed for users working in a fast-changing environment with many sales orders a day by offering a worksheet that allows for fast input. In the worksheet, the user can informally draft purchases and sales and later connect those purchases and sales without mixing inventory postings. The biggest change of the new feature is the changed user interface that enables the user to be more efficient in their daily work. So let's take a look. First, I want to go over the flow of the new trading role. And the flow can be split into 4 steps. The first step is drafting, where the user starts by drafting purchases and sales in corresponding worksheet lines, using the purchase supply worksheet to draft purchases and the sales demand worksheet to draft the sales. The second step is ordering. The draft created in the worksheet in the prior step is converted into actual Whitefish order documents, receipt agreements, and delivery agreements. The third step is the trade allocation. Once the agreements are ready with all the necessary business information, the user can begin to allocate item purchases against item sales. And this is the step where the supply and the demand are linked and connected. The fourth and final step is the invoicing and documentation. In this step, the user is invoicing sales transactions to customers and general ledgers. Now I want to give you guys a quick glimpse into the system where we'll go through these steps that I just discussed. So this is the home screen that meets the user once the application is opened. It contains several sections. The navigation menu offers system components solely related to trading. The navigation bar contains links to main master files used in the trading process. It provides access to the list of vendors, customers, stock centers, items, item charges, and locations. The action bar contains 5 actions that point to useful overviews and reports. The user can access the import from fish market worksheet, history of previous transactions, inventory availability, open trade items table, and finally some insightful sales reports. Below the action bar is the activities trade section, which are cues representing the daily activities of a salesperson. What's essentially happening here is that once the registration of the purchase supply worksheet or draft has been completed, the user processes them into purchase agreements. And once the sales demand worksheet has been completed, the user processes them into sales agreements. The trade allocation is the final step of the activities in the trade where the purchases and sales are connected without any inventory being involved. One of the advantages of this new role is that the inventory is not posted until the end. There's a short line of queues under the activities of trade, and that's the invoicing section. And it's meant for those taking care of invoicing, verifying, and sending out documentation. And finally, the insight section allows the users to display a list of selected items, selected vendors, and selected customers. So in this example that I have here, you can see that I've created 15 sales demand lines, and they're in the red box there on the screen. If I click on those, the demand lines open in the sales demand worksheet. The worksheet contains 3 main sections: the batch, action bar, and lines. So the batch section is at the top of the page. This allows each user to have their own batch to prevent information from being altered. That way, 10 salespeople can be working at the same time on different sales without one person overriding what the other one's doing. Next is the action bar. It's below the batch section and allows the user to delete lines, create or update delivery agreement lines, split lines, and look at the available to promise analysis. There's an additional action on the roadmap that I want to mention, and that action will allow the salesperson to send out information based on the worksheet. And the final section on this page is the lines. This is where the user inserts information on their customer, which item is being sold and how much of it, as well as the pricing. It's also worth mentioning that the fact box on the right can give the user insightful information on the sale. In this example, we're planning on selling 5 different items to 3 customers. I've also created entries in the purchase supply worksheet. This is where the drafts of the purchases are registered. One of the key features of this new role is that just within a few seconds, the user can import transactions straight from the fish market into the worksheet. The purchase supply worksheet has also 3 main sections. The layout of the worksheets are very similar, and the batch section of the worksheets serve the same purpose. That is that each user can have their own batch to prevent information from being altered and have multiple individuals working in the worksheet at the same time on different purchases. The action bar is the section below and allows the user to delete lines, create or update receipt agreement lines, and split lines. The final section is the lines. This is where the user inserts information on their vendor, which item is being purchased and how much of it, as well as the pricing. It's also important to mention here that the user can keep track of certified items coming in and out of the system. And in this example, we're planning to purchase 5 different items from 2 vendors. Once the draft is ready and verified, we can go ahead and create receipt agreements, or they're called receipt agreements or purchase agreements in the system. And Wisefish receipt agreements are the one-time purchase agreement to a vendor. To create the receipt agreement, we need to select all the lines in the worksheet and then click the action, Create Update Receipt Agreement in the action bar. What should happen here is that 2 different receipt agreements should be created, one for each vendor in the worksheet. Once we're back on the home screen, we can see that 2 receipt agreements were created, and we can view those agreements by clicking on the purchase agreement queue. So here I've opened one of the receipt agreements we just created from the purchase supply worksheet. This is where the user could add any information if needed. But now I want to go through the same process for the sales demand worksheet. By clicking the sales demand queue, I open the worksheet again. So I've opened the sales demand sheet again. And in the sales demand worksheet, we select all the lines and click the action, Create Update Delivery Agreement. Since there are 3 customers in the worksheet, 3 delivery agreements will be created. And that is exactly what's happened here. 3 delivery agreements were created in the sales demand worksheet. Just to go through what we've done so far is that we've drafted our purchases in the purchase supply worksheet and created receipt agreements from those drafts. Then we drafted our sales in the sales demand worksheet and created delivery agreements from those drafts. So far, we've not touched inventory postings. To open up the list of delivery agreements created, the user would click on the sales agreement queue. Note that the number in the trade allocation queue is now 15, meaning that there are 15 sales delivery agreement lines available for allocation against purchase receipt agreement lines. I've opened up one delivery agreement we just created from the sales demand worksheet. This is where the user could add any additional information on sale if needed, such as estimated additional costs and shipping information for distribution and export. Those 15 sales delivery agreement lines that I mentioned earlier are now available for allocation against purchase receipt agreement lines. At this point, we want to allocate the established sales agreement lines against the vendor supply before processing the rest of the remaining sales demand lines. By clicking on the queue, the trade allocation page opens and is displayed here on the slide. The trade allocation window has 5 main sections. At the top, we have the actions, which the user can click to edit the page, for example, to make last-minute changes in the quantity. The user can also split lines and allocate receipt agreement lines to the delivery agreement. Then we have the sales delivery agreement line window that shows established delivery agreement lines from the customer demand. In the middle is the receipt agreement inbound lines that show connected agreement lines. As of right now, there's no connection because we haven't allocated anything yet. The next section is the purchase agreement lines, which are in the bottom window on the page. They're automatically filtered with the supply from the item that's selected in the delivery agreement line section. Here, there's one receipt agreement line available for allocation against the sale of item T001. And the final section of the page is the filter section. In this section, the user can filter on any item and the whole page will filter to that item, meaning that if I filter on item T001, T001 will be the only item visible in every section of the page. The user can also filter on the allocation status, where the options are without filter. That's when the user sees all the lines available, completed, and excluded. So next, we're going to select the receipt agreement line to allocate to the delivery agreement. And then we're going to run the action allocate receipt agreement line to delivery agreement line. The status of the line is now updated, and the delivery agreement line for item T001 is now no longer available for allocation, as it has completely been fulfilled with supply from the selected receipt agreement line. If the allocation status filter at the bottom of the page is changed from available to without filter, the details of the completed allocation appears. The top section of the page shows the sales delivery agreement line. The bottom of the page shows the purchase receipt agreement line. And now we can see that the middle section shows how the agreements are connected in a subtable to the receipt agreement line called the receipt agreement inbound line. The salesperson repeats the same process for the remaining sales delivery agreement lines and completes the allocation against purchase receipt agreement lines. Once all lines are allocated and the page is viewed without filter, it shows that all sales delivery agreement lines have now been connected to purchase agreement lines. The purchases can now be completed by releasing the receipt agreements, creating a posting document, and posting it to inventory. The completed purchase receipt agreements are then removed from the purchase agreement queue. At the same time, the sales delivery agreements are automatically updated with reservation of the stock from the related purchase transactions. Note there are no more lines to be allocated since we've completed the previous step. So that's why there's 0 in the trade allocation. The user can then release the delivery agreements as ready for invoicing. When the sales invoice for the customer has been posted, the sales delivery agreements are removed from the sales agreement queue. So once the receipt agreements have been posted and invoiced and the delivery agreement sent to invoicing, we end up with a home screen looking like this. The activities in trade are all at 0, and the individuals working in the books take over. Another feature worth mentioning is the worksheet archive. This is yet another feature that enhances the efficiency of the module. The worksheet archive on the home screen shows the history of transactions from both the sales demand worksheet and the purchase supply worksheet. If the user is constantly buying the same items for the same supplier, the user can easily copy the worksheet archive into the purchase supply worksheet. And the same can be done for the sales side. The user can copy archive demand line straight into the sales demand worksheet. So, Wisecrews Trading contains more than just receipt agreements and delivery agreements. It allows the users with more complex processes to sell and distribute seafood with the use of multiple agreements and features related to price, discounts, item charges, logistics, and more. Originally, the module was designed for users with longer processes. Firstly, I want to discuss the purchase side of the trading module. Blanket purchase agreements are used to handle and manage multiple scheduled receipts from vendors. There are long period contracts that the user makes with their vendor. Most of the time, agreements such as these stay released for months. From a blanket purchase agreement, the user can create receipt agreements. In the receipt agreements, users can add in estimated additional costs, create pallets, handle vehicle codes, keep track of transportation, and so forth. Secondly, I want to discuss the sales side of the trading module. Quote sales agreements are used to draft the sale to a customer. They are integrated with sales agreements, pricing, and estimated cost tools. It allows you to fit the best possible price to offer your customer. From the quote agreements, the user is able to create a blanket agreement or a delivery agreement. Blanket sales agreements are used to handle and manage multiple scheduled deliveries for customers. Similar to the blanket purchase agreements, these are long period contracts that users make with their customers. From a blanket sales agreement, the user can create multiple delivery agreements. In the delivery agreements, users can reserve purchased trade items, view insightful sales reports, retrieve packing lists, and include estimated additional sales costs. The delivery agreements are also incorporated with the warehouse module and the logistic module. Certifications are very important to a lot of our customers. Recently, we've made some improvements to the certification feature to decrease manual registration of certifications in the Whitefish agreements, fishing trips, and production lots. Now the users only need to set up their certifications once in their system, and the system then automatically registers the certifications in the right places. In Whitefish, certifications are registered when the trade items enter the system, and then the certification follows the trade item all the way to sale. For those in aquaculture, it's possible to create production agreements from delivery agreements. Production agreements allow the users to produce to inventory. If a delivery agreement and a production agreement have been connected, items produced to inventory through a production agreement will automatically then be reserved to the connected delivery agreement. A key aspect of selling and distributing seafood is being able to read analytics to keep you ahead. So let's take a look at our Power BI. So you can maximize your financial management in the seafood industry with our comprehensive Power BI reporting app. It offers key features like the detailed profit and loss overview, insightful actual versus budget analysis, and thorough GL account analysis. The balance sheet overview provides a clear picture of your assets, liabilities, and equity, ensuring you have a complete financial understanding of your business. The app isn't just about finances, it's also equipped with the robust sales reporting tools. Get a complete sales overview, dive into customer and item analysis, and evaluate salesperson performance, all designed to optimize your sales strategies. For purchasing insights, the app includes comprehensive features like purchase overview, vendor analysis, item analysis, and purchaser analysis. These tools are vital in streamlining your purchasing processes and enhancing overall efficiency. In summary, our Power BI reporting app is an indispensable tool for seafood traders. It provides a fusion of financial, sales, and purchasing insights, all designed to drive informed decisions and promote business growth in the competitive seafood industry. Now, for most of our users, logistic follows the purchase and sales of seafood. I briefly want to mention the possibilities of this in Whitefish and how the process from source to distribution can be made even more efficient. Whitefish Logistics is an integral part of Whitefish. It's tailored specifically for the seafood industry, and it goes hand in hand with the trading module. Users can assign delivery agreements to the scheduled trips based on shipment plans and schedules. In those scheduled trips, they can create transport units to cover the required shipping needs for the designated shipment dates. In addition to that, the logistic module allows for vehicle management, reservation of trade items to transport units to ensure availability for loading, oversee and confirm loading, streamline post-shipment operations, and it's integrated with the Whitefish warehouse module. The logistics and export system allows the user to generate reports such as loading instructions, as well as retrieve all the necessary documents needed for exporting seafood. Finally, I want to mention that we are developing a cross-platform handheld solutions for receiving and delivering items, and this solution is called Whitefish Stream, which we are very excited about. Before we end our webinar today, I want to mention that Whitefish will attend various events in 2024, and these are some of our major events. So up next, we would love for you to join us at our booth for the upcoming Seafood Processing Show in Barcelona from the 23rd to the 25th of April. One of the highlights we will be presenting is our green accounting solution, which leverages traceability to promote sustainability and responsible business practices within the seafood industry. So please feel free to contact our sales team to book your meeting in Barcelona. And if there's no questions, then I just want to say thank you, everyone.